Camera speeding!
Sound speeds.
And action!
Welcome to the Urban Pebble podcast. I'm Adam Rabora.
And I'm Teresa Moore.
And this is maybe the best place to learn about indie film in Chicago.
We hope.
We hope you hope.
We're learning.
We got it. I remembered our names this time, which...
That's right. I did have to insert us like some names in the last one. I think I looked very concerned because I rewatched the episode and then I was like, you could like watch my face just like in sync and like thinking like, I don't think we said our names. Oh, we didn't say our names at all.
I was like, no, we practiced.
We did.
We're getting there.
We
Each one's better.
practice.
Like, this one's better already.
Winning.
We're coming off some exciting news.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we just shot a short film that Adam directed and wrote.
What's up?
So you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so the short film is called Infernal Beeping. It was one where we were talking about trying to shoot more films, especially like after coming off the 48-hour film project.
So much excitement. As you notice, a lot of our episodes recently on the podcast have actually either been about the 48 experience or like reflecting on the 48 experience.
Yeah, and it was like, because it was such a fun time, and it's that kind of thing where you get to make a project and like really quickly it's out and it's done and it's like experiencing, versus typically film projects take a very long time.
That's true.
And there's a lot of planning and a lot of like, we have to just like jump on it, you know? But we wanted to like reflect that and try and just like, let's just do a short film. Let's
do another one without like a festival to like be part of.
Yeah, because we want to like really try and speed up that process and make it less, I don't know, like not stigmatized is kind of the wrong word, but like
onerous.
There's a lot of like, when you're like leading up to a film, you have the idea forever, maybe you have all this stuff, and then there's a lot of pressure to do it exactly right. And the 48 kind of breaks you out of that, which is one of the best parts.
So yeah, we wanted to put it together, I think, using like the 48 as a time idea. Like there's an element about the 48 of like trying to put a whole film project together very quickly. So like, let's just say this was inspired by the 48. But not held to the same rules.
In 48 hours by any means. But we're looking at different film ideas to kind of like test out that process. And I had one a couple weeks ago. My neighbors downstairs had their fire alarm ran out of batteries, so it made a beeping sound every 30 seconds.
Would you say that it was infernal?
Yes, it was so infernal. It really was. It was like one of those ones where I was like, that just requires like getting a AA battery, and we could, you could change it.
Maybe it's a D. I think it depends.
Yeah, but whatever it was, I was like, that's a quick fix. And then I work from home, so I'm sitting there like, deep, deep, every 30 seconds, and it was like all night, all day. I was like, maybe I should just go down and change the battery for them.
Just be like, hi, I'm maintenance.
Please, hi, I will be the maintenance person. And they waited, because I think what they did was call the building management to come through, and we have like an individual owner. It's not like a company or anything. So it's like her calling someone and sending someone a few days later. And I was just like, at this point, like I would put up the money to get you free batteries and change it,
Like I will buy your battery.
Yeah.
As the neighbor who is dying.
So I wanted to like make a film inspired by that, because I guess one thing that I've been challenging myself to do more is write for one room, because I know we've like, anytime writing before, it's like, oh, and then they start in the living room, and then they go on an adventure, and they're at this business meeting, and then they're like in the middle of outer space, and we
have a tendency to make it epic. Yes. I think that's it. We have epic tales that we would like to tell through film, and this is how do you make something in a small space feel epic? So how did you do that, Adam?
Oh my. Well, so it was inspired by the fire alarm going off and the refusal to change it. And so I was like, we're going to try and limit it just to a bedroom. It's just this guy in a bedroom going crazy. And he just is going insane at this thing, but he cannot change it himself. Like he will not. It's a moral thing. That like it's his landlord's fault.
I mean, it is.
It has
kind
to be.
of. I mean, I guess. I've decided it would be. My fire alarms go off or whatever. My fire things are beeping at me. It's the landlord's fault.
And so we filmed it all in one room, which was my bedroom, and we ended up we came up with the style real quick because the other silly piece of it was I wanted to make it like an Edgar Allan style poem. So I was like renting the
You went to the library.
Yeah, I went to the library, got his compendium of
How many poems and stories did you read before you wrote your script of poem?
Not too many. I did the Raven. I did some. He had like some around the Raven that were like about Lenore and some stuff. And
Okay.
I did the Pit and the Pendulum. And
this is more than I've read, so you're doing great.
What was the Telltale Heart, which is fascinating.
That one.
That one got me because that one's like I've heard the story a million times. Like in general, like it's like the heart's under the floorboards, and it's like a page long.
It's not terribly long.
I thought it would be much longer, and it's kind of like he does the murder, hides it. The cops are like, "You seen anything?" And he's like, "No," and then he's like, the heart, and then just goes out and tells him it's me. I was the one. That's kind of it. It's really quick. And
so would you say the heart is guilt in that one?
I would say the heart is guilt, which I don't know if beeping
do we have guilt in the beeping story at all?
I'd say less guilt and more
accusations.
Yeah, more like in fancy word here.
Okay. Yes.
Insert fancy word.
Yes. Insert.
We know that like he's like just that inability to like take on that responsibility is kind of the thing, and like that disassociation of like having an effect in this moment.
So if you had to just like summarize the plot for someone who knows nothing other than right now, because I feel like the people would be like, "Wow, it's about a fire alarm and a guy."
It kind of is about a fire alarm and a guy, I would say. I think that's the plot. We're getting too into the weeds on it, but it's super silly. It's just a guy going crazy over his fire alarm.
Okay.
But we filmed it all in one room, and because it was that Edgar Allan Poe style, first off, I wrote a poem, which was fun. That was in the same.
It's a good poem. I enjoyed it.
I matched like the rhyme schemes and stuff from the Raven, and like edited it a little bit, but it has like all these cool internal weird rhymes and stuff, which was fun to learn about. And then we went and recorded the whole thing ahead of time.
Oh, we came, to my little studio. So what is it? Come into my parlor, said the spider to the fly.
That's, I believe, one of Poe's poems.
Is it really?
Yeah, the spider and the fly.
Obviously, I'm a Poe expert.
Nobody looked that up.
Nobody check. No. Anyway, so we came and we used my voiceover booth.
Yes, and we had the wonderful Carson Fox Harvey.
Yes, who read the poem. And then I played a little mini character, the landlord.
Yes, and the operator.
Oh, that's true.
You were
the phone operator.
Landlord of Legend.
I was. And Carson, when he read it, he kind of came up with this crazy accent that the landlord would have. And we all just kind of enjoyed that crazy accent. So I mimicked his accent when I played the character of the landlord, because I was like, that would be really abrasive to have someone answer the phone and sound like that.
Yeah, it was just this like East Coast.
Yeah, it was like Dwan and Dwanny. It was kind of like what are you doing? It's 3 a.m. Stop.
I love that was his go-to. And it was like, yeah, that's the best choice.
That's the 3 a.m. voice that you would get from a landlord, right? Regardless of location, regardless.
So if you focus closely, you can hear Teresa's voice.
That's me. And then I also played the phone.
Yes, you are just the phone is not reached kind of line.
The number you have called is no longer in service. Something along those lines.
So it made it really easy. We had fun. We recorded here at your VO booth, and then we went to my place where the setup was, and we'd basically just let like Nick, Daniel, and Steven just go to town on setting up all the lights.
Oh my gosh.
And Nick and I had like talked a lot about doing a gothic kind of thing because it was so Poe. So we did just like big shiny window lights and bright things that kind of don't make sense.
It was like stark but interesting. Yeah, Carson is like angularly framed by the light a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So
we had like a nice little spotlight hanging overhead, just like blasting on to make him look dramatic. And
it's very dramatic. It's was almost as dramatic as your prose.
Thank you. My very dramatic prose about a smoke alarm.
Yes.
But it was like a really fun because then we got to set up in the space. And so we had like most of the audio already done. We come to the space and then we're just moving around the space and with the lighting set up and adjusting slightly, but it wasn't like resetting for a whole new shot or anything like that.
No, it was cool. And we were also experimenting with some gear that day too, because we'd gotten the new...
the Easy Rig.
Which is Rig, yeah.
Like this big armature that comes... You wear like a vest, almost like a... Kind of looks like a bulletproof vest kind of thing. It has this arm that goes over your head and then a string from that attaches to the camera. So then suddenly you can like handheld the camera... But
without assuming the weight of the camera, right?
Now
so
it
makes
like
it
goes
easier.
to your body and is distributed, which is super cool. And that was like our first big time using it. And Nick loved it because the second he took it off, he's like, "Let me get this one shot just regular," and was like,
"No,
never mind. Nope, it's worth the hookup for my arms." Yeah, it was a super fun shoot, but like super. Like it put me in a different mental space for writing it and for like how it could be done. I was even like gonna have him run out into the kitchen and stuff, and I was like, no,
you got to keep it to the bedroom.
We got to keep it to the bedroom, and I only cheated a little bit.
Well, there's a dream sequence.
There's a dream sequence, which how can you not have a silly dream sequence? That's the most fun.
I don't want to spoil any of it, so I'm trying not to say the plot point, but
there are some fun characters that appear.
There's some very silly ones that you may recognize one of the characters in this dream sequence later.
Just but I can't resist a good dream sequence with weird characters. It's just too fun.
And I can't resist a fun voice character to just play with because like sometimes you're inspired. And I think that's one of the things that is kind of cool. A lot of the film projects we've made, we've just kind of, I don't know, it feels like there's a lot of spontaneity in it. And this one, I feel like it's spontaneity in some ways, but it was way more structured in terms of like shot listing had been done and the character choices had been made. And it was just like, it used our spontaneity and creativity in a little different way.
Yeah, it was like we got to play a little less just in general for a whole shot, but like a little in these like micro moments and play with the actor and like, because Carson's wonderful. If you're watching this, Carson, we love you. But he really like played into these different things and took every note and ran with it, and got to like, it was like, all right, let's try it this way. Let's try big this way. Let's try little this way. Because we had done all this other work, it really made that possible versus like, let's just do one take and that's good enough and let's move on because we got to do a whole new setup.
It was definitely one of our more efficient sets. And we had even a time constriction because Carson had to leave by a certain point in the day, and then we didn't get started right away either, for circumstances that were outside of our control. So it was like definitely like, all right, here's this day we've blocked out. We've chopped off the second half of it, and we're losing the first half of it.
Yeah.
Now we just have this little block of time. Let's make a movie.
Which luckily, that was one fun thing I did on this one that I've recently been trying to play with, and it was the first time I've gotten to actually try it for a shoot directly. And I made a little storyboard ahead of time that was just me doodling, and it was like how I was figuring out the shot list in general was just I was like, all right, I'm going to take some note cards and doodle on each, and they're like the silliest little doodles, but they actually like I want to see now like comparisons because we were peeking at it afterwards, and they were pretty on point.
At one point, I remember you taking Nick Cartwright, the DP, to your doodle board to go look. He was like, "Oh, what about this next shot?" And you were like, "Come with me to see
come to the doodle board."
To the doodle board that was in the other room, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny. That's really funny."
It worked because we're like, "What are we trying to do?" I'm trying to visualize. I was like, "Good." Then follow me to the doodle board.
So that's what storyboarding is now. It's just the doodle board.
It's just the doodle board. Easy. I have like this cork board that I just put them all up on. And
so what is like the unveiling strategy for our Infernal Beeping story? Like I do feel like we've made films before. Obviously, if you're part of our Urban Pebble podcast community, then you probably have watched one or two of our short films previously. So like, where is this going to pop up?
This one is just straight up going on YouTube. So if you're on the Urban Pebble YouTube, you can find it right there. It'll just be online. We'll probably throw it to like a few fests just for fun. But the main thing is that it's going to be up there right away for people to watch. It was, again, this was one like with that intentionality inspired by the 48 of like, let's just make something and get it out there. This doesn't need to be a big production. This doesn't need to be a elongated thing,
right?
And especially we're not dealing with too many like back end stuff. Like the 48 Fest has specific rules about when you can post it, which like Hold Your Horses is on the way, but there's specific like
we have to make sure we're good.
Yeah. But this is one that we're like, all right, this is the intention. It is just going out, and we just get to share some art with the people.
Yeah. So I think I guess looking at like the wide ranging types of films and film projects that we've been a part of, like there are some that belong to the festival route, right? Like we make things and we very much intend them to go to film fests, and we're very much intentional about their releases and the strategies that we try to employ to like get folks who are excited about them to see it. And then there are the smaller projects or different aimed projects, and like I guess this is kind of cool because this one is totally aimed for YouTube and aimed for like, hey, we're practicing a thing, you gave yourself a constraint, we want to try this out, let's share it, and like we had a really fun time making it, so I think that's cool too.
It was super fun to make, and just have it be out there, and then we'll have other bigger projects, we'll have other smaller projects, maybe all of which are on places, I don't know. But it's
we're
fun.
Experimenting, right?
Yeah. Well, that's like the fun with film is there's so many different routes where you can make this gigantic thing and like try and figure out how distribution works or fast work or a long rollout, or it is just like, I don't know, let's just make something, let's get it out of our system, let's have fun. And like you don't want to stop and like because like all that other work where it's like festivals and meeting with people and all that stuff is pretty daunting and like a gigantic task. Mm-hmm. And you don't want that to stop you from just making a thing, because you're like, oh, the first step is make it, but if I have to do all that, maybe it's not worth it, or maybe I need to prep more, or maybe I need a budget that's bigger.
This is us making something fun and trying to share it really quickly, and I think that as we go forward, it's kind of neat to like just appreciate whatever the projects are as they come, and like whatever their size, and whatever their purpose and whatnot. And this one is, well, it's something fun that we get to share with people who are following us pretty much right away. So thanks for
depending on
watching.
When you're watching this, it might already be up. If it is, there's probably a link like right here. If you watch it too early, there's nothing.
There's not a link there yet.
But it's just super fun. It kind of like, it's one of those things that just motivates me to be like, oh yeah, let's do another film. Let's just knock out like another thing.
Yeah, and I guess, if we're thinking about like what are your film projects, guys? What are you excited about? I think we'd love to have a conversation. A lot of us, we have conversations with each other and the people we bring on all the time, but if there's some cool film project that you're looking at and you're making and you're really wanting to share, and it happens to be in a form that you can share it publicly, and we'd love to see it.
Yeah, let us know. That's the whole point, is just like create stuff and make things and share it is a huge piece of what film can be.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Well, great. Thank you for joining us. This has been the Urban Pebble podcast. You can find a bunch of our films, old and new, on Urban Pebble. On YouTube, you can follow us on Instagram at Urban Pebble, where we have a lot of behind-the-scenes videos. Teresa's made some wonderful short videos following the behind-the-scenes of some of the films. It's so good.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah, and there is a behind-the-scenes for Infernal Beeping that's coming or is out.
Yes, and you can always check also. Oh yeah, link
here. I assume
it's on. It depends when you watch it. And we had our amazing crew. This was all done with our production company, Film in a Bag Productions, which we were trying to do more films with, which is who we also did Hold Your Horses with. Mm-hmm. So it was like fun to experiment with new equipment, but like us, it was our crew, which we love to all work together.
Yeah, we're making art. It's fun. It's why we are doing all the other stuff too.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us on our journey as we wander through the filmmaking wilds of Chicago.
Yeah, and make sure your batteries are changed in your smoke detectors, please. For all of our sakes.
Beep.
No!
We'll see you next time.
And cut. That's a wrap, everybody.